So what determines, so you want a strong skeleton. What determines it? Part of it is genetic. So obviously those are the cards you're dealt with. That's it. Okay, fine. But there are definitely modifiable lifestyle factors. And what are these? I refer to Hippocrates, a very old reference. 2,000 years ago, he said, if we could give every individual just the right amount of nourishment and exercise, not too little, not too much, we would have found the safest way to health. I could insert there bone health, all right? So what does that break down? What does that mean in practical terms? And why is this true, okay? So I'll tell you why it's true. I'll get onto that bit first. Because, hooray, hormones, yay. So why is that? We all know that instinctively. What we eat, the exercise we do, we know that that is important for our health. But what is it exactly? And the answer comes in terms of the hormones, those drive, those produce the effects of your actions, your lifestyle behaviors. So I had to put this slide in because, you know, I'm a hormone doctor, so I had to bring that in. And also just to say that the word hormone derives from ancient Greek meaning setting in motion. So the hormones go in and they direct the expression of your DNA. So you do actually have a control even over your genetic potential, which is really super fascinating. In the other so this is what Hippocrates said. He said, if you get the right balance of these things, you will end up here. And what happens inside are the hormones. And this applies to everything in the body, but including the bones. So I'm just going to quickly go through each of these in detail, because I know that Sam's going to go into detail about the exercise, so I won't linger too long. But actually, lots of people forget sleep. Sleep is the chief nourishment in life's great feast. So if you want to start somewhere, actually you get fitter when you're asleep. So that's super important. And that includes bones. There's been a really interesting study saying that middle-aged people who don't get so much sleep, they have poor bone health. So if you go away with anything today, make sure you get good quality sleep. That's going to help so many things, including your bones, interestingly. What about exercise? Again, I'm just going to touch on that. It is loading the skeleton. It is mechanical loading the skeleton, okay? That's really what it comes down to. And I'm really super excited. I hope you let me try it out. This machine, efficient way, but if you know, for those who I haven't had access to that ever, then, you know, body weight exercise is better than nothing. So planks and things like this, better than nothing. Of course, actually loading the skeleton with extra weight, that's helpful because muscle will be pulling on bone. And also, I show this slide simply because I love dancing. So dancing actually is pretty good because you load the skeleton and you change direction. And it's more interesting than running. So it's better for your bones and it's more interesting in my opinion. Anyway, so there are ways of doing it up till now, and I'm really excited to see the new method here, which is super efficient. So we've got sleep, we've got exercise, and then the nourishment piece. So if your intake matches your demand in terms of how many calories and the food groups you're eating, everything is nicely balanced, your hormones will be happy, we're all good on that path to the surest and safest way to health, as Hippocrates said. But we have, of course, if your intake is excess to your demand, then we know metabolic syndrome, etc., which of course is going to affect your hormones, and it's going to affect all the systems, including your bones, by the way. Whereas Matt mentioned energy deficiency, I see a lot in the type of people that Matt describes. It's called REDS, relative energy deficiency in sport, but it's not just people doing sports, people doing dance, people just doing exercise. If there isn't sufficient intake, haven't matched that, then of course the bones are really going to suffer. The hormones are going to go on the down low, and this poor skeleton is going to be robbed of its mineral deposits. So it's this case of trying to get the right balance when it comes to nutrition. And also, I often get asked about supplements and things, and Matt's already mentioned calcium, absolutely, that's really important, that's part of these crystals that are made on the bones. But actually, I want to highlight vitamin D. It's a steroid hormone, hooray, a hormone. Vitamin D is strange because even if you eat all the food groups rich in vitamin D, like dairy products, oily fish, etc., you still can't get sufficient for your requirements. Because actually the main source is the action of sunlight on your skin. But we live in the UK. So even if you walk around naked all winter, you won't get enough sunlight on your skin to make vitamin D. So you'll be relieved to hear I'm not recommending that. I suggest you, if you're not already, please take vitamin D supplements. So easy, so simple, you know, very, very cheap, nothing fancy, whatever, okay?